Hi, this is Mrs. Rike, and welcome to SPA's virtual distance learning back to school night. I know this isn't the way you wanted to meet your students' teachers, and it's really not the way we wanted to meet you, but we are resilient and we are going to make do and make the best out of this situation. So I want to take you through a typical week at the school that your student has. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to look at what it is we do here at SPA. I want to say that I'm absolutely impressed with the students that I have this year. They're kind, they're funny, they really put a lot of thought into what they are doing, and it makes me happy. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I was born and raised in San Francisco. I'm married and I have 2 children. I have a bachelor's in industrial psychology, and I have a few masters, one in education technology and one in special education. I have teaching credentials in both a multi-subject and education specialist for the mild moderate. I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning new things. I take it and I try to see how I can help infuse this new information with my students to help them learn and grow as, you know, as we all are. I also love to cook and I love to eat. So my favorite foods are tacos and ice cream. I know it sounds like a weird combination, but trust me, it's bueno. Because I love to eat, I definitely love to work out, and I have completed some marathons and a ton of half marathons as well as 10Ks and stuff. And as I said, I like to eat, so I work out. So let me tell you about a typical schedule that your students have with me. They have all of their courses in the afternoon with me. So on Mondays and on Thursdays, you can see your students have science at 12:45 to 1:35, and then English from 1:40 until 2:30. On Tuesdays and Fridays, your student is going to have history from 12:45 to 1:35, and then math from 1:40 to 2:30. On Wednesday, we do asynchronous learning, and that is where the students are self-guided, self-paced, and there are assignments that I leave for them in their Google Classroom that they can work on. During high school here, what I want to focus on and the projects that we are going to be working on this year, it's going to include the students are going to be working on their reading comprehension, their writing, vocabulary and language syntax. So some of that's going to come in the forms of journal prompts, daily language, vocabulary words of the day and such. The projects that I am looking to do this year are the A to Z autobiography, our 6-word memoirs, some digital book reviews, some trading cards and one-pagers, and a whole bunch more of things. So we're really going to practice reading, comprehending, and discussing just all sorts of things in our English class. In history, we're going to focus mostly on US history up to the Civil War. So some of the projects that are going to be included are going to be artifacts, models, digital stories, maybe some, tweets. What would George Washington have said before crossing over Valley Forge, right? In math, we are going to be working on the Math Common Core standards, which include ratios and proportions, number systems, expressions and equations, geometry, statistics, and probability. So I have some great projects set up for our students. So that includes a data quest where the students are going to interview other students to find out you know, on a certain topic, and they're going to present this data in a slideshow. It should be really exciting. We're going to do things like recipe ratios, building a taco truck, because Mrs. Rike needs tacos, as well as road trip by the number. So we are going to jump into math in all sorts of different ways, because I really hope to get students to not be so afraid of math and really see how math is a very creative process. In science, I am going to incorporate the NGSS standards, which are cross-cutting concepts from both physical, life, and earth and space science. So some of the projects that we are going to do are going to include making some models, some ecosystems, like in a bottle, for example. We're going to look at different rock types and even eat some rocks. Of course, my rocks are going to be chocolate and peanut butter, but you get the point. We're also going to be doing some design and engineering and a whole lot more. Let me tell you about the classwork and homework and my beliefs behind it. So for me, I feel that students are expected to be able to work both individually, small groups, and as a whole class. Everybody has an opportunity to show their creativity and their input. Students are also expected, you know, to share and participate in class appropriately and provide constructive feedback. All of the work that the students are going to be working on can be found in the Google Classroom, and the students should be reviewing it and complete and turn it in on time. I really want to get them used to following a deadline and meeting those deadlines. Homework consists of whatever they were not able to finish in class. Additionally, they may have some times when there will be an assignment, like when they need to find some information outside of class time. In my classroom, the class rules are enforced, and those rules are to be respectful in words and action, not only to others, but to yourself. Also, one voice at a time. It's really difficult to understand or hear someone if you're talking. So I ask that every student let each student speak, and then they'll have an opportunity. It's important for our students to know to do their best. And sometimes they're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. If you can say you've done your best, that's all that matters. And I really want students to own their choices. It's up to them whether they're going to choose to turn in the work, put it off to later, or whatever. Whatever the choices they make, I want them to own it. Okay. Let's see. The next thing I want to make sure that we understand is our expectations. So all of the lessons that I have designed are to support your students meeting their IEP goals. All student accommodations are going to be respected and followed, and students are going to participate to the best of their abilities. So students will complete assignments that are assigned in the Google Classroom. And then additionally, this is all I ask of the students. I ask that they read 30 minutes a day, every day. And I don't care if they're reading books, blogs, magazine, ebooks, graphic novels, heck, even cheat codes for one of their favorite video games. If it's getting them to read different types of text, informational text, you know, fiction, anything that's going to support them and their vocabulary and their comprehension. Additionally, I'd like them to practice some math, 20 minutes daily, whether it's math facts, going to Khan Academy, or playing some online math games. But just a little something to keep their mind working and challenged. It's important for the students, especially in high school, to review their calendars, their emails, and to prepare for the next day. So at the end of school is a good opportunity for them to kind of map out where it is that they're going to be going tomorrow? You know, do they have an assignment due? Do they need to, you know, go to a meeting or something like that? Whatever it is, if they can get into that habit, they'll stay much more organized. Another thing that I want them to do is to really reflect, and I want them to reflect using a growth mindset. And what I mean is, I want them to understand, like, what happened today, what worked, what didn't work, what did you do that did work, what did you learn, and what could be the next steps for you to take. Those are all very important skills to have. The grading that I do in my class are as follows. For classwork, students receive 30% of their grade. Projects, as some of the ones I mentioned, are 25% of their grade. Tests and quizzes are 20%. Now, participation, your work ethic, exploring new skills and practicing things that you're learning and taking responsibility, that's 25%. I think it's really important that students have a good work ethic and that they take the time to explore and learn about things, make mistakes, it's okay. Some of the platforms that I am going to be using include, obviously, Google Classroom, Flipgrid, which is a way for students to make videos, to answer questions that I will pose at them, and be able to show me orally what they know. Oftentimes kids can feel intimidated by writing, and I find that this is a great way to get kids to share a lot about what they know. And the great thing is they can put emojis on their face so that we don't have to see their face if they're feeling shy. Khan Academy is a great site for students to look at videos on how to do certain math operations. They not only show videos, but they have closed captioning. They offer these videos in various languages, and students get a chance to practice and earn points as well. Math Playground is a great site for students to play with math. You know, just like a video game, but they're still doing math work. Desmos is another math application that I use where we will, as a class, work together and share answers back and forth and discuss those answers. Adobe Spark will be used for the students to make short movies and short stories, book reviews, and that sort of stuff. I use Shed, which is a Stanford history site where students are able to have access to differentiated materials on all sorts of historic people and places. Code.org is a great site. It teaches students all about math and science in a really fun way. Students get to try out their ideas, make video games, make their graphics dance, and do all sorts of things. NASA is another great site for students to really take flight, if you will, into a lot of what NASA is doing with space science and stuff. And they have a lot of great material and educational lessons for our students. I also use Scholastic, ReadWorks, which is a reading site that helps students, and everything has got differentiated articles for the students, as well as some audio. And then finally, we use Loom, and that's how we make some videos as well. All of these platforms and more are going to be used throughout the school year in both distance learning and live learning. My philosophy really is that my classroom is a safe place. When you come here, we are respectful to ourselves and one another. Everybody has a purpose and everyone has value in my classroom. Respect and have patience for people. Not everybody learns at the same speed and in the same way. So it's important to practice and respect how other people learn. One of the most valuable things I tell my students is that the most valuable thing really anyone it can do is to make a mistake. When you make mistakes, you learn. You can't learn anything if you're perfect, right? Productive discomfort, that's important. Things are going to be hard at times. Things are going to be a struggle. It's not going to ever be something that you know, will like never overcome. But what do you do when you can't get the answer? You know, what are some of the strategies you can use? It's important to have some of that discomfort so that it can help you find what you need. Education really is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And my aim is to help educate your student to the best of their ability. Dreams and goals are life-changing. Finally, I know you're going to have questions. Your students are going to have questions. How do you get a hold of me? The best way to get a hold of me is through an email. I am available after 3 p.m. by phone as well. I do reply to emails within 24 hours. I generally do not use my phone because when I'm in class, I'm teaching your students. And so it's very difficult for me to answer the phone when I'm teaching classes and stuff. So again, the best way to get a hold of me would be through my email at helen.rike@cocospa.org. And I also want to make sure that your student is aware and you are aware that if your students need any sort of tutoring support, we do have options. Not only can students access our IAs through sessions during their lunchtime on Wednesdays, but also if they need some additional help, they can contact me and we can set up an appointment and I can help them with whatever they need. And that goes the same for you. If you have questions, please reach out to me. I am just an email away. Well, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. I really hope that your students are as excited as I am. I think this is going to be, in spite of how it started, a great year for all of us. Thank you. I can't wait to see you. Bye.